Let's go to Julie Pearl for the starting lineups.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lake City High School Band, directed by Stephen Ritzenthaler, will lead us in the national anthem. Starting for the Region 8 champion, Warren, at the forwards, number 35, Mitch Carlson, and number 55, Mark Turgeon. At center, number 25, Steve Brecky. The guards, number 21, Scott Kleiner. And number 11, Robert Norman. Starting for the Region 1 champion, Lake City. At the forwards, number 25, Boyd Snyder. And number 43, Richie Dahman. At center, number 53, Randy Brewer. Number 31, Pat Kennedy. And number 33, Joe Russell.
Just going to use some voiceover, good?
Okay, our referees are John Behrens and Bernie Kukar as we get set to go. Class A semifinals. Wearing the orange jersey with the IDS guy there at center, the IDS building at center, Randy Brewer. And Warren is dressed in white, ball in the air in Lake City. Easily controls the tip as it goes to Pat Kennedy. Kennedy will set things up. Pass goes on the left side now to Russell. In the corner to Snyder. Back out to Kennedy, to Russell, into Brewer, knocked away by the Ponies. And up with the ball now is Norman. Norman over to Kleiner. And Kleiner will bring the ball up for the Warren Ponies. Almost like Halloween here. Both school colors, black and orange. Norman. Inside, back to Norman. Bomber from the outside. That's no good. Rebound goes to Carlson. That's up, no good. And the rebound is cleared out of there now by Richie Dahman. Back to Pat Kennedy. And Kennedy, who had 16 points. Into Duluth Morgan Park, into Brewer. Brewer scores, basket count. And the foul on the play. So Randy Brewer probably has the first two of many. Turgeon picks up the foul, his first team foul against Warren.
He sure makes it look easy going up over those other kids.
Can't shoot free throws yet. Missed that one. And so it is Lake City on top 2-0. Norman with the basketball for Warren. To Carlson. Back to Norman. Now we got a 3-second violation. And so turning the ball over is Warren, which they can ill afford to do too many times in this ball game when you're playing a team the caliber of Lake City, undefeated. And with that skyscraper at center. Russell back to Kennedy. Kennedy into Brewer. Easy two. We just got too much height for this team on the inside.
Well, they've got to keep the ball from getting to him somehow. I don't know how.
Carlson. Into Turgeon. Back to Norman. Carlson. Norman again. And it comes back out to Kleiner. Kleiner back to Norman. Good zone defense thrown up here in the early going by Lake City. First look Dave and I have had at the A's. Inside to Turgeon. He's got nowhere to go with Brewer behind him. They're just working for a shot, not necessarily playing a slow down. They're trying to get it in. They just can't. Brecky. Into Turgeon, knocked away by Brewer. Played back in by Warren. So he played 2 minutes, 17 seconds, and have just the 4 points on the board. They're all under Lake City or over Lake City on the scoreboard. Norman tries a bomber from the outside. That is no good. Kennedy got it to Russell. Russell back to Kennedy, and here come the Lake City Tigers again. Pat Kennedy, he fits right in here in St. Paul. Too bad it's not St. Patty's Day. Bumped up by Russell for 2. So it's a 6-0 ball game now in favor of Lake City. As Kleiner brings the ball up for the Ponies. Brecky from the outside. And the rebound is pulled down there by Dahman. And Dahman is called for pushing off. That'll be the first foul on him, first team foul on Lake City. And the Ponies will play the ball in underneath their offensive basket. Comes back out to Kleiner. Kleiner to Norman. Carlson, Kleiner, Brecky. Kleiner from 15, no good. Rebound goes to Dahman. Dahman clears it off to Kennedy. Kennedy had it taken away by Brecky. Brecky knocked it out of bounds, though. And so Lake City will play it back in. Lake City, the champions of the Hiawatha Valley. They beat Morgan Park in the quarterfinals 77-39. Pat Kennedy from the free throw line. And it's 8-0 Lake City.
Well, they jumped that out last night. They jumped out 10-0, but Brewer had the first 10 points.
Brewer so far tonight with 4. Brecky knocked away. Here comes Dahman. 2-on-1 break. Dahman with Russell. Brecky was back and went flying Russell. And they really tripped over his own feet. Out of bounds he goes, and so the ball be played back in.
He did trip over one of the other players, but he was already stumbling.
Brecky on the left side. Back out to Carlson. Into Brecky. Brecky over Brewer. No good. And the rebound cleared out of there by Pat Kennedy. Kennedy down to Russell. Into Brewer. Over Turgeon. No good. Turgeon grabs the rebound. Got it back to Brecky. And now bringing it up the floor is Norman. Robert Norman. Eight to nothing in favor of Lake City. Carlson. Carlson against Brad Snyder. Now comes back out to Norman. Snyder picks up Norman. Norman then shoots over Russell. That's no good. Rebound carries all the way back out now to Norman again. To Carlson, to Kleiner. They just can't work it in. They get it to Turgeon, but he's got to come right back out with it. Norman baseline, cut off that time by Dahman again. Loops it into Turgeon. And Turgeon, I think, will be called for elbowing.
Lubarski, 43, in for Warren.
Hell, he was throwing his elbow. There he did. He elbowed him right up under the arm.
Last foul was on Snyder.
Well, wait a minute.
25.
That wasn't the call, though. They called the foul on Snyder. Okay.
2 team fouls now on Lake City. Warren still has the basketball, but they don't have any points yet with 2:50 to go now, first quarter.
We might be seeing our first shutout quarter of the tournament. And probably
Norman.
our only one, I hope.
Norman has the ball. Into Turgeon. Taken away by Brewer. Pass goes up to Snyder. Back to Pat Kennedy. Into Randy Brewer. Brewer to Lubarski. Lubarski plays it back out now to Kennedy. Kennedy puts it up. That's no good. Tap up by Brewer. And then Brewer is hit by Turgeon underneath. And Turgeon will pick up his second personal foul.
Now, it's got to be frustrating when you jump as high as you can, reach up for the ball, and all you get is the other guy's arm. And that's all he did. He was going for the ball, but Brewer's arm is longer than his, and he had the ball up a little bit higher where he couldn't reach it.
Well, Turgeon has been doing most of the work rather than Brecky on Brewer. You might mention that Duluth Morgan's Jim Hoffman fouled out trying to contain Brewer without scoring a point yesterday.
Right. And you have to remember, Brecky is their top scorer. If they're going to have any hope of winning this game, they can't afford to lose Brecky.
Snyder into Brewer. Brewer over Turgeon. Shot is no good. Rebound to Brecky. And here come the Ponies again. Set up offensively. They beat Breckenridge 39-35 in not a great scoring game at the Met, but a solid victory. Brecky stopped by Brewer. Easy stop. Brewer barely had to leave his feet. Now Norman puts it up. That's no good. And the rebound comes down. It's fought for Norman. Number 11 there in the white jersey for the Ponies. And going out of bounds there, 33, Russell of Lake City. They'll jump it up.
One thing I've noticed about Brewer, he seems content to take the little jumpers from about 8 feet. He doesn't go to the basket. He's not in very good position to rebound when he misses. And so far, he isn't shooting a very good percentage right off the bat.
Tip controlled by the Ponies as it comes to Kleiner. Kleiner to Norman. Watched by Russell. Back to Kleiner. He's picked up by Snyder. In the corner now to Norman, cut off by Dahlman. Now back out to Lubarski. Lubarski to Brecky. Brecky puts it up. That's no good. Rebound, easy rebound for Brewer, but he didn't hold on to it. Not a real aggressive ball player. Of course, you don't have to be when you're 7-1 playing Class A ball. Now we've got a timeout on the floor now with just 1:04 left to go here in the first quarter. Our score is Lake City 8, the Warren Ponies no score. Norman with the basketball for the Warren Ponies. Over to Brecky. Brecky from the top of the circle. That's no good, and the rebound is grabbed off by Dahlman. Gets it back to Pat Kennedy. Scoring thus far for Lake City. Brewer has 4, Kennedy 2, Russell 2. For Warren, nobody has anything. It's 8-0. Jump shot from the corner by Snyder, and the coach's son, Brad Snyder, hits for his first 2. So that's a 10-0 game now for Lake City.
And we're inside a half a minute left in the quarter. If they don't score this time down, they're going to get shut out.
Well, they turn it over, and Dahlman brings the ball down now. Richie Dahlman, 5'9" junior, hands off to Pat Kennedy, who's a good ball player. Kennedy, I'm sure, has been overshadowed by Brewer. Shot is up, no good. Rebound goes out of bounds. Would be played back in by Lake City with just 11 seconds now to go here first quarter. There's the skyscraper Randy Brewer that you've heard so much about. 7'1" senior. Pass in was tipped and picked off by the Ponies. They come down with 7 seconds, chance to get their first points of the quarter. Norman at the free throw line, pumps it up, it's no good. And the rebound taken down by Dahlman, throws it down the court. It'll go wild, short, and everything else. And that is the end of the first quarter with our score Lake City 10 and the Warren Ponies 0.
In the first quarter, Warren was 0 for 11 from the floor. Lake City was 5 for 9.
If we go with the jump to start the second quarter, I was going to say it wasn't much of a contest.
There goes the shutout.
The Ponies, but Kleiner took it down, drove baseline, laid it up, but it didn't fall. He was fouled, I believe. He was fouled by 31, Pat Kennedy. That's his first, third team foul against Lake City.
Kennedy, 31.
I didn't think he was in the act of shooting, and so Norman will play it back in. Brecky. Lubarski. Back to Norman. They just have not been able to solve this Lake City zone at all.
Well, think of it positively, though. Don't think about them being shut out. They're only 10 points behind.
Brewer with the rebound. First rebound for Brewer in the ball game, according to Tom Greenhoe. Pat Kennedy bringing it down for the Tigers. Over to Dahman. Back to Pat Kennedy. Right side, Brad Snyder. Into Russell, into Brewer. Shot is no good, and the rebound is taken off by Lubarski.
I don't think Randy's all fired up tonight. He doesn't have any fire in his eyes, and he's missed his last 3 shots, and he's only got 1 rebound.
Inside to Turgeon, stuffed by Brewer.
Got a few blocks, though, too.
Brecky. Back outside to Lubarski. Lubarski to Brecky. Brecky over
There
Brewer.
it is,
In, out.
Shoot it.
Right back to Lubarski.
Yay,
Score.
all right. No shutout.
Lubarski getting the basket.
Took them 9 minutes and 40 seconds to get their first points.
Walking with the ball called against Lake City, but you know, you said it in jest, but it's not far from the truth. They are only behind by 8 points. They do not have themselves in foul trouble, and they have somewhat contained Brewer, although he has been a bigger pain to them defensively than he has been offensively thus far.
I said 9 minutes and 40 seconds, 9 minutes and 20 seconds before the first 2 points for Warren.
Paulson, Soderstrom in the game. Soderstrom has the ball right now. He gets a pass over to Anderson. Back to Soderstrom. Back over to Paulson. To Brecky. Ponies are keeping fresh troops in there, that's for sure. Gary Schuler going to his bench. Put up by Paulson. Shot no good. Brewer rebounds. That's where Brewer has killed him thus far. Brewer has just the 4 points, but he's blocked numerous shots, cut people off on their way to the basket, and pulled down rebounds. Inside to Brewer, and a foul, I believe, will be called on number 53. That would be Reed Soderstrom, a 6-foot junior.
53.
Here you see Soderstrom coming up behind him and bumps him with the body.
Second team foul against Warren is Kennedy. Brewer couldn't handle the rebound. Brecky did, and Brecky hands it back to Paulson, and Paulson will bring it up the floor for the Ponies.
That would have been Randy's first offensive rebound of the game, but he didn't get it.
Even his coach, Snyder, was saying that Randy's best basketball lies ahead of him, and that's not unusual when you're 7 feet tall. Foul called on Lake City there.
Looked like Russell.
Fouls on Russell, 33.
That'll be Russell's first, 4th team foul.
There he goes on the hand.
Anderson shooting.
So Anderson goes to the free throw line. Mitch Anderson, a 5'8 junior. And he looks at home there as he gets the first one. Makes it a 10-3 ball game, a 7-point lead for Lake City. Missed the second one. Soderstrom got the rebound. Shot was blocked. And here comes Lake City back the other way with Kennedy. And Kennedy was fouled by Soderstrom.
53 Soderstrom.
So Soderstrom picks up the foul. That's his second, 3rd team foul. And Lake City plays it into Kennedy. To Russell. Back off to Snyder, inside to Dahman. Dahman tried to take it to the hoop, and he was fouled. This foul will be on Lubarski, Bob Lubarski. That's his first, team's 4th.
Lubarski must have gotten him with the body, because I thought he blocked all ball with his hand. He did. Must have gotten him with the body from behind.
That's the team's 5th. But a 2-shot foul, and at the line is Richie Dahman, and Dahman hits the first one. That makes it 11-3, an 8-point lead now for Lake City. Richie Dahman, 5'9 junior, has a 4.7 scoring average this year. Missed the second free throw, and everybody's tied up on the rebound, and so we'll jump it. Randy Brewer thus far with 4 points. Lake City with an 8-point lead. We got 4:58 to go here, first half. Howard Lake, Waverly, and the Glencoe Eagles coming up next. Lake City controls the tap. And Pat Kennedy has the basketball. To Russell, into Brewer. Brewer over Soderstrom for 2. Brewer has 6.
Brewer scoring.
Paulson now brings the ball up the floor. To Soderstrom. Lubarski. Anderson, Mitch Anderson pumps it. That's no good. Rebound, front four underneath, and Kennedy comes up with it for Lake City. At Kennedy. To Snyder. Snyder from about 20. He's got it. Snyder's got 4 points. And Lake City has increased its lead to 12, 15-3. Doug Paulson, 5'8" junior guard, to Soderstrom. To Anderson, to Lubarski. On the inside to Brecky. Brecky was stuffed there by Brewer. Brewer's going to pick up the foul.
Number 11, Carlson. Number 21, Snyder back in.
Got it on the replay. He didn't get much of him. Well, you can't see it. Must have had him just a little bit on the wrist.
That's Brewer's first foul, so all 5 starters for Lake City have 1. Team has 5, and Brecky at the line. Free throw is good.
Brewer looks very gentle to me. He even fouls gently. He didn't hurt the guy. He just kind of tapped him.
Brecky hits both free throws, makes it 15-5, 10-point lead now for Lake City. 3:55 to go in the half. Pat Kennedy. Brad Snyder in the corner. Into Brewer, and Brewer's fouled by Soderstrom underneath, and Soderstrom picks up 3.
Soderstrom came at him from behind, and Brecky backed into him. We'll see it here. Brecky's backing in front, and he hits him from the front, and then Brewer backed into Soderstrom. I think his foul should have been on Brecky.
Now Brewer with the 1-and-1 now has 7 points. Missed the second free throw, and the rebound grabbed off by Norman. Here comes Norman for the Ponies. But Lake City hustles back on defense, so he'll have to set things up again. Turgeon back out to Norman. Into Turgeon. Weiner's shot was no good. Rebound grabbed by Brewer. And the ball brought up the floor by Pat Kennedy. Pat Kennedy was 16 against Duluth Morgan Park yesterday at the Met. Into Brewer. Brewer's got 9.
Brewer scoring.
18-5, a 13-point lead for Lake City, which gives every indication of just coasting to victory here tonight.
Coasting is the right word.
Shot is up and no good, and rebounded by Kennedy. They don't have to play with any intensity.
No, and they don't. That's what I was just going to say about Brewer. The guy seems like he figures he's almost embarrassed. He's got such an advantage over the other guys now that if he also played with any intensity, it wouldn't be fair.
Dahman has the rebound for Lake City. Back out to Kennedy.
They got Brewer sandwiched inside.
Back to Snyder, and Snyder, I believe, thought he walked with the ball. I thought he was going to call Brecky for hitting him with the elbow, but they didn't. He walked first. That's Norman. Getting it back out to Carlson. Brecky to Kleiner. Kleiner, an 18-inner. Goes in, comes out, and just standing there for the rebound really is Brewer. It's really about the only way you can describe it.
Well, if he can catch the rebounds before they get down to where other people can reach him, and he's got it. It's his if he holds on to the ball.
Russell into Brewer. Brewer's got 11 points. He's also fouled.
Foul is on Turgeon, 55.
Well, again, he doesn't go to the basket. He gets the ball and just is very happy to take the shot from there. Of course, where's he going to go? There's 3 guys inside him between him and the basket.
Turgeon picked up the foul, his third. And Lake City substituting now. as coming in is Steve Haska. Brewer cans the free throw. He's got a total of 12. And it's 21-5, an easy 16-point lead for Lake City. We had two emotion-packed basketball games out here this afternoon. That is certainly not the case thus far this evening. Turgeon rebound. And Brewer called for coming in.
Now got Brewer, 53.
Good call. Watch him go for the rebound. Brewer comes in and crashes in.
Not rare for a big man like a Brewer to come on late. I remember reading the story of Bob Pettit, where Bob Pettit, the former great of the St. Louis Hawks, did not even make his high school team until he was a senior.
Yeah, especially they grow up, and you can see he hasn't filled out. He's skinny as a rail. Looks like he weighs about 180 pounds.
Free throw by Brecky is good on the first try, so he'll get another. That's his third. 21-6.
I remember a kid named Eddie Slumchinsky who played at the University of Connecticut when I was going there. He was 6'10". He'd never learned how to jump until he went to college because he never had to jump.
Brewer gets a rest on the bench as Kennedy brings it up. In the corner to Snyder. Turnaround jumper by Haska, no good. Rebound off to Brecky. Brecky now for the Ponies. Pass to Norman.
Bruce Broccoli and Stewartville. Go to gate 219.
Norman going against Schreiber.
Bruce Broccoli to Stewartville. Go to gate 19.
54 seconds to go in the half. Carlson now for the Ponies. Goes inside to Turgeon. I think Turgeon was hit by Steve Haska. Haska got him on the wrist, so Haska will pick up his first. And Turgeon will go to the free throw line for Warren.
You know, we were saying before the game, Bob, that I was saying, as a matter of fact, that it looked as though from some of the scores that teams had tried to slow down on Lake City. I'm not quite sure that they actually ran a slowdown game, because this isn't a slowdown game, and yet the score is going to be something like 21-7 at halftime.
See where he shot that free throw from? All the way over the right side of the key.
Yeah.
Didn't help. That's the first free throw the Ponies have missed.
Maybe nobody ever told him you're supposed to stand in the middle.
Down the floor now, Kennedy of Lake City. He's got 39 seconds at a 21-7 lead. Dropped off to Russell. Russell couldn't handle it. Here comes a fast break now for Kleiner. Kleiner cut off by Russell, shoots over him, no good. Rebound goes to Turgeon, and Turgeon is fouled by Kennedy.
On Kennedy.
Well, it's got to be nice for the Warren kids to come down with Brewer out of the game and be able to play their normal game. Turgeon's a pretty big guy when he don't have somebody like Brewer in there to shoot over. He goes up for the rebound, gets the shot, had a shot at a three-point play, but the shot didn't drop.
Again, he shoots from the side. This time he's got it.
Looks like he's listing to the right-hand side of the free throw line.
Missed the second one. They're now 1 of 23 from the floor. They've done considerably better than that at the free throw line. 12 seconds left to play now in the half. Ball knocked loose. Here's a final break for the Ponies. Brecky bringing it down. Brecky against Kennedy, up no good. Turgeon grabs the rebound, and Turgeon puts it in, and he's fouled.
Okay, nice effort by Turgeon coming down and getting the rebound again with Brewer out of the game. He's a big man under there. I think I got it figured out why he shoots his free throws from the right side like this. He probably learned how to shoot at a basket out in his driveway, and he had to shoot around the car.
That must be it.
Well, you know, so he's got to shoot from an angle here because the car was always parked there in the middle of the driveway.
Maybe it still is. And the ball thrown away, and there's the horn. That is the end of the first half with the score. Lake City 21, Warren 11.
21-11. That's the halftime score. Lake City over Warren. Here's Bob Kurtz with the second half.
Now let's see if they can do any better this time around. Pat Kennedy has the basketball thanks to the tip from Randy Brewer. They get it inside to Brewer, and Brewer's got 14 points. So we start the second half of the ball game pretty much the way things started out here at the St. Paul Civic Center. It's now a 23-11 ball game. 12-point lead enjoyed by Lake City. Turgeon a long way from the bucket. The Warren Ponies have had to operate a long way from the bucket. They get it to Brecky inside. Brecky had the shot blocked. And goaltending was called that time on Brewer, and you can credit a basket to Robert Norman.
And that's going to help Warren's shooting percentage because that shot was a little bit short. I think it would have skipped over the rim and not gone in the basket. Instead, they get credit for a bucket. They'll take them anywhere they can get them.
Pat Kennedy has the basketball. He's picked up by Norman. Top of the circle, left side to Dahman. Dahman back into Kennedy. Kennedy's shot is up and in, but he was fouled before then by Norman. So the basket will not count. Norman picks up his first personal foul, and the first foul this half on the Warren Ponies.
And there he is reaching in.
Comes into Brewer, and Brewer just shoots it easily over Turgeon, and Brewer's got 16 points. A total mismatch on the inside.
Yeah, when you shoot from 6 feet away, you got to shoot a pretty good percentage. Right now, Warren 3 for 30 from the floor. Shooting, I can figure that one out without a computer, 10%.
Up 3% from halftime.
Right. They're improving.
Norman. And Kennedy again will bring the ball up for Lake City. That seems to be the pattern. Kennedy brings it up, they work it in, get it to Brewer. Brewer takes an easy shot.
Now, I think the only thing Warren can do is stay outside. There's Brewer again. All Warren can do is stay outside far enough that he can't block their shots and try to take a good percentage shot. And that's really all you can do. If you go inside, he blocks the shot or he takes the ball away from you or he intimidates your shots from the inside. That's the shot to take. You got to take them.
They're not falling, though. That's the unfortunate part from the Warren point of view. As again, Kennedy brings the ball up for Lake City. They enjoy a 27-13 lead. 6:10 to go here in the third quarter. Dahman into Brewer. Brewer over Turgeon.
Looks like they're more determined in this half to go to Brewer. When the game started, they weren't really looking to him as much as you might expect. The other guys were popping away a little bit. But now it looks like they're determined to roll this score up a little bit. They only had a 10-point halftime lead.
I'm not taking anything away from Randy Brewer, who is an excellent high school basketball player. You almost feel sorry for him, the tremendous adjustment the young man is going to have to make next winter when he's playing basketball at Minnesota.
That's right, because you start playing in the Big Ten, all of a sudden there are guys 6'3" and 6'4" who are going to be right up there blocking your shots. Doesn't matter if you're 7 feet tall. They got some 6'4" guys who can jump that high in the Big Ten, and he hasn't got anybody who can jump up there with him right now. You're right, it's going to be a big adjustment.
Turgeon misses the free throw. The foul was on Brecky.
Well, at least we know Turgeon comes from a two-car family because one of them had to be
was
parked.
on Snyder. I'm sorry.
One of them had to be parked out in the driveway.
Snyder from the corner. Up, no good, and the rebound is taken down now by Lubarski and handed back off to Doug Polson. Comes back out to Mitch Anderson, over to Turgeon, back to Polson. To Lubarski. Bob Lubarski works against Snyder. Drops it off to Polson. Polson has a shot blocked from behind by Dahlman, and Richie Dahlman picks up the foul, his second team foul here in the second half.
Okay, here comes Dahlman in from behind. Had an awful lot of ball, just a little hand. That's enough.
And Paulson goes to the free throw line. 5'8" junior misses the first attempt.
Got to make your free throws against these guys. That's the only shot Brewer can't block is a free throw.
29-14, 29-15. Kennedy beats a little bit of a press up to Dahlman. As Gary Schuler trying just about everything now into Brewer, and there's no way to stop that.
Brewer scoring.
Bite him on the knee, that's about all.
Brecky gets it on the inside to Lubarski. That's blocked by Brewer.
I'd say one thing you might be able to do against Brewer, and I think they tried it right there, get the ball inside, try to protect the ball and go to the basket, and maybe you can draw a couple of fouls on him. He's got one on him now. If you could get 3 on him, they might take him out for a while.
Now, that time it was Brewer that drew the foul as Lubarski picks it up, his second.
Foul is on Lubarski, number 43.
Second team foul against the Warren Ponies here in the second half.
Backing in. Good call.
Well, this isn't exactly a tough game to work.
It's okay with me.
Well, I'm talking about from an official's point of view. I wouldn't imagine this is all that difficult. It's really not the intensity that we had out here earlier today. Certainly not nearly as physical.
And it's a fast game, too. Not a lot of whistles. Oop, there's one. There's 2.
Lubarski missed the shot. Looks up to see what the situation is, and then is dismayed to find it's 31-15.
Not a lot of question about that. Right on the arm. Caught him in the act.
Lubarski shooting.
Snyder's third foul, third team foul against the Lake City Tigers. Lubarski's free throw is up and in. So Lubarski has 3 points. 31-16. 31-17. Snyder into Brewer over Turgeon.
Al Brewer's shooting percentage is now getting up there. He's 11 out of 15 from the floor. He's got 24 points right now.
Brecky on the inside drew the foul.
Okay.
Brewer doesn't like the call.
That's what you got to do.
That's his third.
I think that's what you got to do. He hit him with the body. He moved into him a little bit with the body. Is that 3? Is that 3 on Brewer?
That's 3. The scoreboard agrees. So that means they've really got to go to work on Brewer now.
Sure. That's the only thing that I can see that you can do. Go inside. He's going to block some of your shots. Try some scoop layups. Anything where he's got to get a piece of your hand, or he's liable to get a piece of the hand or the arm trying to block it. When you shoot a jump shot and you shoot it up high, you give him a chance to get nothing but ball. If you scoop it up in front of him, then if he's going to try to block it, he's liable to get a piece of the man.
Snyder comes back down the other way, lays it up short, and Brecky grabs the rebound. Also wouldn't hurt if they could get a nice guard to drive the lane occasionally, but they haven't been able to do that, and have Brewer pick up the guard at the last minute.
Sure. Well, now this could become an interesting game. If he gets out of there, I think these two teams will play very evenly.
They got to avoid that, though. That's one thing they didn't need.
That's too bad. They could have gotten it back down to 33-21 if they'd been able to score then. We're inside 3 minutes now.
Lake City takes
and there's a timeout on the floor now with the score Lake City 33 and Warren 19.
Become an interesting basketball game, Bob, if they get another foul on Randy Brewer. He's got 3 on him.
Ball knocked out of bounds that time by Lubarski, so Lake City will play it back in. We got the battle of the black and orange, the Ponies of Warren against the Tigers of Lake City. Warren representing the Polder Conference. Lake City plays in the Hiawatha Valley. Kennedy from the outside, shot is short. Brecky gets the rebound. Okay, be patient, guys.
I think the crowd's starting to get the feeling that Warren can get in this game, too, a little bit, if they can hit a couple of buckets.
It's on the inside.
All right.
They're going to call a foul on Lubarski.
Yeah. Well, let's watch it on the replay. Let's see. He hooked him with the elbow, I think. Let's see. Well, I don't know. He started to, but he did get in there and scoop it up.
Lubarski grabs the ball, but played it right over to the Warren bench. Those are his teammates, all right, but they're not on the floor, so the turnover will give the ball to Lake City. 2 minutes and 14 seconds left to go here, third quarter, 33-14. 14 points is not so large a deficit. It can't be made up if they can get rid of Randy Brewer. But as long as Brewer's in there, they're not going to be able to mount much offense whatsoever.
One thing he doesn't do, there's one thing he does do, and that's score. One thing he doesn't do is leave himself open for any kind of a charging foul, because he doesn't move with the ball. When he gets it, he turns around and takes the shot, or he passes off.
He, being Randy Brewer, has 26 points. Inside. Shot was up by Brecky, no good. The big guy knows exactly what they're trying to do, and he's not going to fall for it. At least he's trying not to, as Kennedy now brings up the ball for Lake City. Russell back out to Kennedy, over to Snyder. Immediately a couple ponies come out to meet him. Russell gets it into Brewer. Brewer off the glass, no good. Gets his own rebound. Brewer up, and he's fouled. And I believe that'll be on Lubarski. That'll be his fourth team foul.
That may be even, yeah, it may even be called a team foul because I think the whole team fouled him. There's 1, 2, 3 guys on him. At least one of them hit him, probably 2.
They're collapsing on him as much as they possibly can. They've held him, if you can believe that, the word held, to 26 points. Brewer's average is 26.5. His high game this year was yesterday's 42 against Duluth Morgan Park. Hits the first free throw, that gives him 27. And there's 28. Down to 105 now to go third quarter, 37-19. Score just about doubled on the Warren Ponies. Now inside a minute, down to 55. Russell into Turgeon. Turgeon shoves him out of the way, puts it up no good, and the rebound taken down now by Kennedy. Here comes Kennedy for Lake City. In the corner to Snyder, into Brewer. Brewer's got 30.
Brewer scoring.
A 20-point lead for the Tigers. The Ponies have the ball now. Paulson to Brecky. Paulson in the corner, goes past Kennedy, drives baseline. And Brewer's called for a foul. He didn't know what happened.
You know, I was just going to say that what they need is a kamikaze, somebody who will go inside and take his chances with his body to try to draw that foul on Brewer. And there we found him. He drove the baseline. Here it comes on the replay. Let's see if it's a charge or if it was Brewer. He's moving. I don't know. He looked like he got there. He thought he got there and got defensive position. But that is his 4th personal foul. Look at his hip was still moving. He got his feet in position, but his hip was still moving to try to block that baseline. Big mistake on Randy Brewer's part. But with a 20-point lead, they can afford to let him sit out. There's only 18 seconds left in the third quarter. They can let him sit out and just see how long it takes Warren to start to creep back in and put him back in when they need him.
You got to look at Gary Schuler there. He wasn't exactly ecstatic on his own bench. Haska comes in the game to grab the rebound on the missed free throw. And Lake City will now bring it up the court. They want to protect, obviously, that 20-point lead. The Ponies have got to get to work in a hurry. Just 7 seconds now to go third quarter. So the work's going to have to come in the fourth. Snyder puts it up. That's no good. Rebound comes down to Brecky. He's got 1 second. Doesn't get the shot off in time. And that is the end of the third quarter with the score Lake City 39 and Warren 19. Well, Lake City outscored Warren 18-8 in the third quarter. Brewer had all 18 points for Lake City. The entire third quarter scoring.
Well,
don't call us a one-man team, though.
Warren's now 3 for 34 from the floor.
He is a force. He is the force in the basketball game. He is the game. Dahlman hits this time. Dahlman now has 3 points. That makes it 41-19. Here come the Ponies again. They don't give up. They're up a charging. Now Lubarski. Into Brecky. Brecky gets his shot up. That's no good. Turgeon grabs the rebound, puts it up and in.
Nice play. Boy, as soon as Brewer comes out of that game, you start to hear Turgeon's name again. You don't hear much about him when Brewer's in there.
Kennedy. Pass cross court to Russell. Russell to Snyder. Back to Russell. Back to Kennedy. Kennedy to Dahlman. To Kennedy. Russell. Snyder. Back to Kennedy. Just pass it around. Clock's running. They got a big lead. They're not in any hurry.
That's all. They're going to run some time off the clock. They're not going to give the Warren Ponies an opportunity to get back in the game. Look for the easy shot. If you don't get it, bring it back out.
Well-coached team, Lake City. Wonder how late Gary Schuler was up last night trying to devise strategy for this game.
Well, you know, Gary said, and other coaches have said that Warren ball. they said in practice they do have players hold tennis rackets up over their head so you can have a player with a tennis racket playing the part of Brewer so you can practice putting an arc on your shot so you can shoot over him. Obviously, Warren didn't practice a lot. They're 3 for 34 from the floor for 3 periods.
Lubarski gets it inside. Brecky's shot is no good. He is fouled in there, though, and the foul will be on Dahman. That is his third.
Well, even with Brewer out of there, they're just not shooting a good percentage tonight. And they've missed shots like that. If some of those shots had gone down, they'd have a much better chance of being at least in the ball game. They're still down 19, and there's only 6:13 left in the game. Brewer on the bench, by the way.
Brecky got one of the 2 free throws, and Kennedy comes down now with a 41-22 lead. That adds up to 19 points. 6:06 to play. Comes down to Dahman. And they throw it away as Kennedy flipped it over Russell's head. And the Ponies will play it in. Low amount of turnovers in the game. Warren's turned it over just 6 times. And Lake City with 8. 6, I'm sorry. Shot is up and in. Norman hits from the outside. That's Norman's first 2 points of the evening. That makes it 41-24, a 17-point lead for Lake City. Trying to look out there close and see how hard any of the Lake City players are sweating. Because they have been in command, an easy command, ever since this ball game started. They've never been in any trouble. There's a football-type pileup.
You know, it's kind of interesting. It looks like Lake City plays with the intensity of Randy Brewer when he's in the game. When he's not in the game, they play with a little more intensity. They reflect his personality when he's in the game, and when he's on the bench, they play a little more aggressively.
Nice save there by Norman. He gets a fine round of applause. Now Norman trying to loop it into Brecky. Brecky had it knocked away. And we got a foul call out of a crowd.
That could have gone either way. It's going to go against Warren.
Number 11.
It's on Norman, his second. 15 foul against the Ponies. That puts Lake City into the 1-1. And coming down to do honors.
Watch 11.
Will be Joe Russell.
They were both moving and they were both going for the ball. I don't know how you decide who's at fault there.
Joe Russell, 6 foot senior. At the line, shooting 1-1. Got the first one. Got the second one. Okay.
I couldn't figure out what you were trying to say either, Bob.
43-24, 19-point lead for Lake City. 4:58 to play. Goes into Turgeon. Turgeon's shot is up, no good. Rebound to Kennedy. At Kennedy. Whips a pass there to Dahman. Dahman takes a baseline. Oh! Boy, flying in there. He was bumped hard. Was Joe Russell. Looked like Pete Rose coming into second base. They're scrapping. You never know there's a 19-point difference to watch the 2 teams out on the floor.
You know, I think if I were Jerry Snyder, I'd tell the rest of the team, when Randy's not in the game, mentally subtract the number of points he has from what we've got on the scoreboard and pretend that's the score without his points and go out and play the game as though it were that kind of a game.
Traveling violation, so the Warren Ponies get the basketball.
I don't think we're going to see Randy Brewer again tonight. There's no reason for Jerry Snyder to put him back in the game. He's got 4 fouls on him. Not that he'd have to worry if he lost him. There's only 4:21 left in the game, and he's got a 19-point lead. But I think he'll keep him on the bench unless it gets down inside 15 points, maybe down to 10.
Now Warren tried to work it in. Lake City knocked it out, and Pat Kennedy brings the basketball up the floor. It's over to Russell. Russell was bothered there. And the Tigers work it into Snyder. Back out to Russell. To Dahman. Back to Kennedy. Kennedy into Snyder. Back out to Russell. Russell's shot is short, no good. Rebound goes to Lubarski. Lubarski's called for the elbow. Little too violent under there.
Yeah, they will call that in high school. Even if you don't make contact, they'll call it.
Lebarski is fouled out. That's his 5th.
Watch him throw the elbow.
No real reason to either.
They both did. They both pushed a little bit, but when you throw that, when you've got control of that ball and you got those elbows sticking out and you start swinging them, the refs don't like to see that.
Russell to Kennedy to Dahman. Hawking the ball is Kleiner. All over the place. Number 21 for the Warren Ponies. Now Snyder has the ball. He's watched by Paulson. He got it into Hoska. Comes back out. Shot by Kennedy is up. No good. Rebound. Pulled off by Soderstrom. Pass ahead to Paulson. Here come the Ponies. Sturgeon. Soderstrom. Try to get it in to Brecky, but that was knocked down by Snyder and picked up now by Kennedy. Kennedy and Russell playing catch. Russell has the basketball now. Back to Kennedy. Off to the side to Dahlman. Dahlman just works it right back out to Russell. 2:59 to play. Very, very quick game. This will be just a little bit over an hour. We got whistles and double dribble called, and so the Ponies have the ball. 2:52 to go. 43-24. Lake City leads Warren.
I think maybe the referees have a bus to catch or something.
That was a timeout on the floor now. Our score, Lake City 43 and Warren 24.
Okay, we're back. 2:50 left to go. 43-24 in favor of Lake City. Randy Brewer on the bench with 4 personal fouls. He shot 72% from the floor while he was in there. 13 out of 18. He had 30 points right on the nose.
Paulson has the ball now for the Ponies. Hands off to Soderstrom into Brecky. Brecky tried to work it further inside. Knocked back out. Picked up there now.
Shoot it.
By
What
Kleiner.
Are you for? Shoot it. Here. Hooray.
Paulson has 3 points. 43-26, a 17-point lead now for Lake City. Pat Kennedy to Dahlman. Back out to Pat Kennedy.
Got to foul him at this end and shoot it at the other end. That's the only chance they've got. Foul somebody.
Lake City just working it around, running time off the clock. It's Snyder for the free shot. He moves in, he scores, and he's fouled by Brecky.
Not while he's shooting, dummy.
Carlson, 35 back in for Warren.
Well, he fouled him all right, but if you're going to foul him there, you better make darn sure he doesn't get the shot off. He got the shot off and in. And now going for a three-point play.
45 in for Lake City.
Snyder got the shot. He now has 6 points. And also picks up his 7th on the free throw line there. So that makes it 46-26. A 20-point lead. Easy 20 for Lake City. Less than 2 minutes to play in the game now as Paulson brings it down for the Ponies. Gets it over to Carlson. Carlson loops it across the court to Kiner. Kiner pops him a long way out and got it. That's his first 2 points of the game. So at least he won't go home shut out. And it's 46-28, an 18-point lead for Lake City. Underneath to Snyder. And Snyder passed it back to Paul Schreiber, and Schreiber walked with the basketball. .133 left to play, and Lake City will be one of 2 unbeaten teams in the finals tomorrow. One of them, Ricori, didn't make it. They now have a loss. Shot is up and short that time by Carlson. Comes back in as it was saved. And it was tossed up there by Paulson. He was fouled. If Lake City wins, it'll be their 38th straight victory. Last year they finished 25-1 en route to the Class A championship.
Steve Hoska on the foul from behind.
Foul is on Heska, number 51.
Paulson will be at the line.
Little short.
Paulson shooting.
Oh, he's not that short. Well, 5'8", yeah, I guess.
Missed both free throws. And they get the tip in as Brecky put it in. Brecky now has 7 points. 46-30, 16-point lead for Lake City. The score will be a little more respectable than Duluth Morgan Park was able to mount, but they were never really in the game.
Well, by the same token, they've only got 8 field goals in the entire game. Warren does.
Foul is on Kleiner, so Lake City will come down and shoot.
Kennedy will shoot.
There's the reaching in foul.
If you haven't watched the game, the final score won't look that bad in the morning paper as Kennedy hits.
Well, I would guess that probably a lot of Lake City's games are like this. They get out in front, they maybe rest Randy Brewer for a while, and they just kind of coast. Because Jerry Snyder doesn't strike me as the type of coach who likes to roll up scores. He's just a roly-poly, nice guy type fella. At least he is when you meet him. I don't know how he is as a coach.
Well, Kennedy now has 4 points, 48-30, 18-point lead. Goes into Brecky. Brecky's shot is no good. Turgeon has the rebound. Turgeon up and in.
Turgeon scoring.
So Turgeon's got 8 points. Kennedy has the basketball. Gets it across midcourt. Down to 52 seconds to play. Kennedy gets it down in the left corner now. Comes back out to Kennedy. Kennedy in a lot of traffic. Flips it back down now to Robertson. Robertson loops it across the court now to Tackman. Tackman to Kennedy.
There
underneath, and all alone is Schreiber, and Schreiber scores.
Schreiber went down. I think he twisted his ankle. And they've called time. He went down hard. I think he came down. That happens to me almost every time I jump up in the air. Because really it does, because I shouldn't play anything anymore. I'm a little old. But I think he came down like on the side of his foot. One of his feet came down funny, and it seemed to collapse under him as he came down. Watch him when he comes back down. If we can see, no, we won't see it, but he's already down on the floor. And the camera panned away from him. When he came down, I think he came down kind of on the side of his foot. I think he'll be all right, just a slight twist of his ankle.
Scott Swanson takes his place in the Lake City lineup. Carlson has the basketball. There's 23 seconds to play. Paulson takes it into the lane, and his shot is blocked by Haska, but Haska's also going to get a foul in the process. It'll be his third.
Fouls on Kennedy.
Fouls on Kennedy. It's 31 rather than 51.
Yeah, I think Haska got the block and Kennedy got the foul.
Well, take your choice, huh?
Now that's the kind of drives that I thought they should have been trying while Brewer was still in the game. Go in there and scoop it up and make him get part of your body if he's going to block the shot.
Paulson got one of the two, 50-33. Lake City by 17. Pass goes wild, and Turgeon has the ball. 12 seconds to go. Time for one more pony bucket. They get it underneath to Brecky. Brecky's forced out.
I think he lost it out.
Yeah, he lost it out from the far side there. And so playing it in, Scott Swanson gets it into Pat Kennedy. Just 3 seconds to go. It comes down now to Robertson. Robertson at the buzzer. It is no good. And that's the final score. Final score 50 for Lake City, 33 for the Warren Ponies.
Okay, Lake City the winner. Jim Gilliland standing by with the winning coach, Jerry Snyder. Jim?
During the first quarter of the second game.
Coach Jerry Snyder is in the finals again. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
First of all, I have to ask you, have you ever shut out a team in a quarter before?
Oh, I think maybe it happened once this year when a team held the ball on us. In fact, in our game with Kenyon, we were ahead 8-0 at half.
Well, quite an achievement there in a tournament game against Warren. One thing about the only thing that you really had to concern yourself with tonight was Randy got in a little bit of foul trouble. Did you have some anxious moments?
Yeah, that's a little bit unusual for Randy, but we weren't very sharp tonight. We had a lot of breakdowns on defense, and I think there were more people penetrating on our defense, so Randy had more things to do and did pick up some fouls.
Has that been a plan of attack before from some other teams to go right at Randy and hope that he picks up a few fouls?
Well, yeah, many teams have done that, but Randy generally is able to reject any shots in close without fouling, but tonight it didn't work out that way.
Actually, to your team's credit, they really did not lose any of the lead they had when Randy was out.
No, they have had to play from time to time without Randy, and generally they do pretty well.
Okay. Coach Jerry Snyder of Lake City, they'll go into the finals tomorrow afternoon against the winner of the Howard Lake Waverly Glencoe game. Back to Bob Kurtz and Dave Sheehan.
This is the 1979 Minnesota State High School Basketball Tournament.